Now, some of you might be wondering why I'm up at 11 o'clock wearing this hat. Because the children need to learn the math. So we're doing this math project about scaling a recipe down. And so I'll tell you that I'm making a 2/3 recipe size of chocolate chip cookies. Now, I could give you the original recipe numbers, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys for a little bit of extra credit to figure out how. That's half a cup of butter. It is important to be extremely accurate while measuring baking, or it is a very precise thing. With that in mind, 1/6 of a cup of granulated sugar. So my friend Maggie turned me onto this recipe, and apparently browning this butter over low heat is supposed to really pull out the flavor of the cookies. We'll see if I can pull that off. 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. You know it's well packed if it keeps its shape. Oh, look, it broke like my heart. I think I was supposed to let the butter cool off more, but whatever, we ride. So the original recipe actually called for an egg and an egg yolk, but because this is 2/3, I just did an egg, and you saw me very, very accurately, very precisely do 2/3 of a tablespoon of vanilla extract. As again, with baking, you need to make sure your measurements are very exact. So here's the thing, when you measure flour, you want to make sure you scoop the flour into the measuring cup instead of scooping it out of wherever it is with the cup, because then it gets overpacked and it gives you an inaccurate measurement. Then you want to overfill it and then scrape off the top to get a perfect. All right, that was about 1 1/6 cup of flour, and then half a teaspoon of baking powder. All right, this is the secret ingredient, half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Gotta salt your sweets. So you see me joke about being precise, but honestly in baking, you do need to make sure your ratio of wet to dry ingredients is precise, and that's the key thing. Oh, I'm not measuring the chocolate chips. I'm just gonna add those until I feel like it's enough. I probably should have cut these. Now, well, because I felt like it, some crushed pecans. Totally some form of table teaspoon. Nope, I just felt like vibing this one. The dough is delicious and a little wet. I don't know, we'll see how they turn out. Throwing them at 350 for however long. Yeah, I've heard that these brown butter cookies can come out flat, but I didn't realize. Well, I bet they're delicious. This, my students, is why you measure precisely. Still good.